What is up, everybody? It is Guy Smiley here, and in this video we're going to be doing a quick mock review of these trucks that I made for my scene that I did for the World in Darkness group. These were featured in that scene. These EU trucks and the EDF soldiers here were featured raiding a UAPR safe house in Egypt. And the UAPR is the enemy in that storyline of the EU, in that storyline of the World in Darkness group. As you can see, they look really awesome in that photo. I love how these turned out with their dark green color scheme here, which is the color scheme of the EU in the World in Darkness group, along with dark blue. But I like to use dark green in areas where it makes more sense to use dark green than dark blue, because I feel like in like the Middle East and maybe in Asia as well, like in Vietnam if they were in that area of the world, I feel like dark green makes a lot more sense because it blends in more with the surroundings. You know, having a dark blue truck in the Middle East would kind of stand out, I feel like, against the backdrop of the more earthy colors you usually see in pictures of that part of the world. So taking a close-up look at the minifigures that I made for the scene, right here we have two EU counterintelligence officers, and I kind of envision these guys being like if you were to combine a FBI agent with a CIA officer and then combine that with a Delta operator of some kind. And these guys are doing a lot of, they're like coordinating and doing a lot of very high-level investigative operations and national security work for the EU, and that's why I gave them a badge there, because they're not necessarily like full-on like army. There's more of a civilian component to them than like say these guys, which are just the straight up like army EU Marines. They have badges and they have the call sign there because they were inspired kind of like the FBI, I guess, as well. I kind of was inspired by like FBI agents, how they always wear vests with like the big letters on them, like FBI, open up. So I gave them little patches there that say EDF on there, which stands for European Defense Force, and I gave them badges as well on their waistband. I made both of those things by just printing out the design on some sticker paper, and then I taped it onto some very thin cardboard from actually a toilet paper roll, because that's the most thin cardboard I could find around my house. And then I just glued it on and colored around the edges with a Sharpie to make it black, and that was how I made this call sign patch right there on the vest, and how I made this badge right here on their waistband right there. And they are very highly detailed. As you can see, my printer actually did a very good job printing out those badges. And the vests I made custom as well. They are using my technique that I kind of came up with using cardboard and electrical tape. If you guys want to know how to make those, I did do a tutorial on how to make those a while back. So the two agents use tiny tactical weapons. We have a tiny tactical Glock on this agent, and then a tiny tactical TM4 on this agent. And right here we have a brick forged turbine, which is a really cool piece, and would allow, I just kind of gave it to this agent so he could blend in easier on the streets of Egypt when he's doing more covert operations. This agent uses the citizen brick rolled sleeves, which are glued onto some Lego light flesh arms, and he also uses some tiny tactical glove tops, which look really amazing when you zoom in close on the minifigure. They add a lot of detail to the hand area and make it look like he's really actually wearing gloves. This minifigure, this agent, uses some different glove tops that I got from Detroitica on Instagram. As you can see, they have more texture on them because they are custom made with actual cloth, so they have some really cool texture there compared to the tiny tactical ones, which are much more smooth. The Marines use a Clonomy Customs Halo vest right here. It is the Master Chief vest that Clonomy Customs makes, and these vests work great for futuristic modern military minifigures. We have a combat brick, a G36C as his weapon, and some combat brick printed arms as well from a torso that I got in my recent order that I did an unboxing of. If you guys want to see that video, I'll put it in the corner right there. And we have an official Lego gas mask on the Marines from the Superheroes line, as well as a official Lego Rock Raiders helmet right there in a dark gray. The trucks themselves here are actually inspired by the Afghan police trucks, which I saw a lot of pictures of around the time that I was building these, and I thought they had a really great Middle Eastern police truck aesthetic, which I wanted to translate into this build right here, as well as the color, which also was perfect because they are dark green, and dark green is the color of the EU faction, so I thought that would be the perfect thing to kind of like take inspiration from for these trucks. The trucks are the same design as the Egyptian regime trucks that you guys already saw in a previous mock review, and I actually bought pieces for these dark green ones at the same time as I bought pieces when I bought pieces for these. And now that the scene is finished, like these ones are also going to be for sale. So if you guys do want to buy either of these trucks right here, you can send me a message on my Instagram page or leave leave a comment down below and I can direct you over there. But these two are the exact same design right here. And then this one, which was the first one that I built using pieces from my own collection, this one is slightly different because it has some really cool bull bars up there at the front. The bull bar is made using non-Lego flex tube. I got this on Amazon right here. It is a roll of 3mm flex tube, and it's very flexible. It's kind of like the Lego pneumatic tubing, except a lot cheaper because Lego pneumatic tubing is very expensive, and it's a little bit thinner than that. I was hoping that it would actually be the same size as a Lego bar, so that it would fit like inside a stud, inside a hollow stud, but it's actually a little bit smaller than that, so it doesn't fit very well. But I found out that it actually fits very, very well in these pieces right here. And what these are is they're actually the ends to these flex tube pieces right here. And you know, these, there's three kinds. There's the new kind, there's the second newest kind, and then there's the oldest kind. And these are actual Lego pieces. You can buy these on Bricklink. And the oldest kind, you can actually take the ends off of these like this, and then you have this piece right here, which is a very, very awesome piece in my opinion. This is actually like one of my favorite like niche, like rare Lego pieces that you don't see many people using very much. And I was able to fit the end of this flex tube right inside this piece right here because of the way it just fits perfectly right there. So the size of this flex tube doesn't fit inside a Lego stud, but it does fit inside this hole, which is a little bit smaller. So that's really cool, and I was able to use that for this bumper here on the front of this car, this bull bar, and I was able to get it to stay in this configuration here, in this shape, by just, there it is. I can pull it right out just like that by putting some metal twisty tie thing inside of the flex tube, and that allows you to bend it into different shapes and allows it to hold its shape, because this stuff is very bendy without anything inside it. It actually does not hold any shape at all. It just kind of goes back to being straight. So yeah, that's how you use this stuff. And if you can just buy it on Amazon, just search like 3mm pneumatic or flex tube, and you get some of this twisty stuff here on Amazon probably as well. I just had this in my drawer for the longest time, so I was able to use it for this. And I actually used the same technique for the antennas on the top of the trucks here. I just cut a small piece of that tubing, and then I added a small strip of electrical tape on the very end of it so that it would actually fit and be held securely inside this Lego bar holder right here. So that just makes the end a little bit thicker. And then I cut the end off of a Lego antenna piece right here. I just cut it right here, and then I put it inside the end of that tube right there, and that gives it a very nice custom antenna right there on top of the trucks, which is a lot more interesting to look at in my opinion than just using a Lego piece right there. So that is something I like to do with a lot of my builds, is to do like a little custom element somewhere on it. I made the stickers for the trucks by just printing out the design on some sticker paper that I had and then cutting them out. I had to color match the dark green, which took forever because color matching Lego colors on a printer is extremely time consuming and hard, because you have to print it out, and then you have to see how it matches, then you have to change like one number in the color profile on whatever photo editing program you use for the colors. So that took a long time, but it ended up being a pretty close match. I would say it's still not like perfect. It still looks a little bit different than the actual Lego color, but it looks close enough, I would say, for me. There's a sticker right here on the front. There's stickers on the sides of the trucks right there. They have some they have the EU right there in English writing, and then they have like some Arabic writing underneath that, which I think looks really cool because, you know, they want the people that in Egypt to be able to read it as well. And then they have a numbering on the back as well, with like the number of the unit of the truck, and they actually have different numbers as well on there. So yeah, the stickers work very, very nicely on here. These are actually printed pieces on the top. They are like sensor arrays right there for like the siren, and for different sensors on the truck as well. I don't really know what they do, but they look cool on there right next to the siren. They're printed pieces right here, a printed light gray 1x1 tile and a printed black 1x1 tile as well on the top. The wheels don't spin. They are just attached to minifigure heads, and the tires are on minifigure heads, and then there's pneumatic T-pieces underneath where they're actually attached to the body of the truck. The thing about the wheels is that I do want to talk about for these is I use these smaller wheels here, and originally I was using much bigger wheels. I was using I tried using these at first, and they looked good, but then I realized they were way too big. And because, you know, when a minifigure is when a person is standing next to the truck's wheel doesn't go all the way up to their chest, and because that would be a monster truck wheel. And so, you know, I felt like these were the most accurate size, even though they're actually still like a little bit big compared to a minifigure. The minifigure is oddly proportioned already, but I feel like these just are better for a minifigure scale truck. And that's one thing you want to keep in mind, because I do see a lot of people using the big wheels, and they automatically go towards the big wheels without actually seeing how the small ones look at first. And at first I thought it looked a little bit wonky to have the small wheels on here, but then the more I got used to seeing it like this, I actually realized that it actually is more accurate, and it looks better with the small wheels on there, because it looks more realistic and more accurately proportioned to an actual Toyota truck that's not like equipped with like a lift kit or anything. It's just a normal truck. It has the regular wheels that it comes with from the factory on there, and that's what these wheels look like. And here's a quick look at the back of the trucks right here. As you can see, they have a little bumper area down there with some rear brake lights as well. And we'll take a look at the bottom as well. I'll just show you guys the bottom really fast. This is what it looks like on the bottom, so you can see the inner workings of all of this, and see how actually incredibly complicated it is to get these fenders right here to look like this. I had to use some very interesting techniques with some pneumatic T-pieces, some of these claws with the bars on them to get these pieces to line up just exactly right for the fenders. And I think that is going to be it for this video. So be sure to leave a comment down below with your guys' thoughts on these trucks. If you guys like them, please let me know in the comments below. Please leave a like on the video as well if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more LEGO MOCs and MOC reviews. And I will see you guys in the next video.